Join me on my journey tasting Dos Maderas 5+5 rum. Dos Maderas 5+5 is part of the Dos Maderas rum range, made up of Dos Maderas 5+3, 5+5, Selección, and Dos Maderas Luxus. As a brand, Dos Maderas rum is the result of the symbiosis of two worlds and two cultures, the Caribbean and Jerez. The name, which means two woods in Spanish, is a reference to the two types of wood in which our rum is aged: bourbon barrels in Guyana and Barbados, and casks made of American oak here in Jerez. The products we're going to be tasting are the Guyana and the Barbados rum blend, Dos Cortados Palo Cortado sherry, Dos Maderas 5+3 rum, Pedro Ximénéz sherry, a sweet wine, and Dos Maderas 5+5 rum. Let's taste the Caribbean rum, which is a blend of two kinds, one from Guyana and the other from Barbados. The Guyana rum is from a continental area and has a fuller body and more structure, while the Barbados rum is lighter and smoother. This rum has been aged for 5 years in casks that were previously used for bourbon. When tasting the drink, it's very important to keep 3 aspects in mind: what meets the eye, the aromas, and the taste. At first glance, we can see amber notes with reflections that are more golden. The lingering smell of sugarcane is very present, with notes of vanilla and nuts. The nutty aroma, roasted or otherwise, will depend on how much the wood has been toasted. In this case, there are indeed notes of roasted nuts and lots of nuances from the wood. Taste: full-bodied, presence of nuts. The structure is also very important. This gives us an idea of how it will continue to evolve during the oxidation process. In the different stages, here in Jerez, this rum enters into that second aging phase, which is carried out here in the cellar. It's very important to decide where this second aging phase will take place. And this is where our history and our wines come into play. In this case, the Guyana and Barbados blend will continue to age in casks that previously contained Dos Cortados Palo Cortado sherry, which is aged for an average of 20 years. The color is the result of oxidation. It's an amber color that looks darker and more toasted. Aromas: very delicate with sharp touches. Due to its long oxidation process and to the high concentration of aromas. We find notes of hardwood and roasted nuts that combine with those softer, creamier notes or touches in the mouth. While the concentration is high due to its age, it is Dos Cortados Palo Cortado's elegance and delicacy that make it unique. Dos Cortados, in turn, transfers that personality and singularity to Dos Maderas 5+3. 5+3 means that it has been aged for 5 years in the Caribbean casks that contained bourbon, and then for another 3 years in American oak casks that previously contained the 20-year-old Dos Cortados. In Jerez, our temperature and humidity conditions are responsible for the rum's refinement. It has an amber color, though in this case, due to its aging period, we also note coppery tones. Aromas. We get the whole profile of aromas provided by Dos Cortados sherry.
Todo ese perfil de los aromas que aporta el vino de Jerez, del Dos Cortados, frutos
Nuts,
secos,
hardwood,
maderas nobles,
notes of
las
liqueur,
notas licorosas también de
and dried fruit.
fruta deshidratada, más fruta blanca.
All the notes are very subtle and integrated, maintaining the rum's refined character and reminding us of the sugarcane, rum's primary ingredient.
Esa caña de la que procede el ron.
Taste.
Y en boca,
Persistence, elegance. Tobacco leaf notes now start to emerge. We've now tasted Dos Maderas 5+3 rum. While this is a double-aged rum, Dos Maderas 5+5, on the other hand, is triple-aged. In this triple-aging process, the wine that was previously aged in the casks takes the spotlight. In this case, we're talking about Don Guido Pedro Ximénéz wine, which comes from the Pedro Ximénéz grape, which, in this case, is dried. In this drying process, the sugar concentration of the grape is nearly doubled, and we end up with up to 400 grams of sugar per liter. It is aged for an average of 20 years, which is where that dark color comes from. The raisins evoke all kinds of overripe fruit. Prunes, dried apricots, licorice, and due to its 20-year aging process, other nuances emerge too, such as chocolate, coffee, and those toasted notes that add an aromatic complexity that is key for Dos Maderas 5+5 rum. There are also some bitter hints. When tasting a sweet wine, it's very important that apart from the sugar, we also keep in mind any sour notes, in order to balance the flavors in the middle of the mouth, and also get the bitter notes so that we're not left with that overly sweet aftertaste at the back of our mouth. In fact, it is the aging process that provides this balance. Next, we have a triple-aged rum, with casks that previously contained 20-year-old Don Guido Pedro Ximénéz wine. And if the third stage of the aging process lasts for 2 more years, in other words, 5 years in Guyana and Barbados, 3 years in Palo Cortado casks here in Jerez, plus 2 more years in Pedro Ximénéz casks, we get Dos Maderas 5+5 rum. Dos Maderas 5+5 rum. What happens is that the touch, the personality of the Don Guido Pedro Ximénéz wine becomes more present in the rum. Therefore, the wine takes center stage. The Don Guido wine is more present, and here we can find those raisin, fig, and dried apricot notes, all perfectly combined and integrated. Aromas. It is very balanced, well-rounded, with those roasted nuts and overripe fruit notes. Taste. Round, structured, a distinct personality, silky, with a smooth, velvety, and long-lasting finish. The perfect combination of the balance between the seriousness of rum and that unique character of sherries. Both Dos Cortados and Don Guido in Dos Maderas 5+5. Today, we've seen part of the Dos Maderas rum range. I hope you enjoy the rums and wines as much as I have.
Lo he disfrutado yo.